This is the video for 6.2 questions that are like the reteaching, that are like the quizzes, that are like the tests. So making sure you are properly preparing for this event would be grand. So I'm looking at this. I'm first going to do my factor tree here because I know 864 is not prime because it's even. So what I first would do is do my 2, and this would be 4, 3, 2. And actually, because 432 is so big, I probably am going to try to see if it's divisible by a larger number, and it is. I'm going to do 16 and 27. This is 4 times 4. This is 3 times 9. This is 2 times 2. This is 2 times 2. And this is 3 times 3. So I'm going to rewrite this right now. In my parentheses, I'm going to write the 864. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. So I have 2 to the 5th times. Here's 1, 2, 3 3's. And I still have my x to the 11. Remember, this is all multiplying. And if there's no number here, that's a square root. Remember your index root will be a fraction exponent. So I'm changing this to my fraction exponent. Now it's just the same thing that we have been dealing with. So I have my power to a power. So the answer would be 2 to the 5 halves times 3 to the 3 halves times x to the 11 halves. And this is how I would leave my answer. Next question is the same type of thing. True. So my prime factorization for the first one is going to be 49 would be 7 squared times x to the 15th. And this is the 1/4 power. Remember your index here. You want to make sure to keep this in parentheses because it's everything underneath that radical. Underneath this radical is the 1/4 power. 84. And start breaking that up. 84 is divided by 2, and that'll be a 4 and 2. This could be a 7 and a 6, and a 3 and 2. So I'm rewriting this one. I have 1, 2. I have 2 2's. I have 1, 7. And I have 1, 3. And I also have x to the 7th. And that whole thing is also raised to the 1/4 power. So now I'm going to do my power to my power. So I have to think in my head, what do I do with the power to the power? I multiply exponents. So this becomes 7. If I do 2 times 1/4, that's 1/2. X to the 15/4 times 2 to the, this would be a 1/2 power. 7 to the 1/4 power. 3 to the 1/2 power. X to the 7/4 power. Oh, that's kind of long. So now I'm going to have to look to see if I have anything of the same bases. Well, first I see these 7's are the same base, so I can combine those. So I have to think, if I'm multiplying with the same base, what am I doing with my exponents? I'm adding them. So this is 7. 1/2 plus 1/4 is 3/4. You should have your whole numbers first. So I'm going to, there's no other base with the 2, so that's going to say it to be 2 to the 1/2. There's no other base with the 3, so that's going to say 3 to the 1/2. So I simplified those. Now these x's, they have the same base. With these x's, that means if I'm multiplying, I should be adding exponents. I'm multiplying, so I should be adding exponents, which would be 22 over 4, so that would be 11 over 2. And this would be my final answer. Next. Here, there's no adding, subtracting here. So I'm going to rationalize the denominator. So what I'm going to do, there's actually 2 ways that you could do this. So I'm not going to rationalize, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this all as one big square root and write this division and simplify this division bar. So I'm going to try to do 147 and see if that is divisible by 3. It is, lucky me. So if I'm simplifying this fraction inside, so I still have the square root, 147 divided by 3, so I'm just simplifying this fraction right here first, is 49. And then my x's, I have 1 x on bottom and 10 up top, so that would be me subtracting 1 away. So this is over 1. So now I don't actually have that fraction there at all. Now what I have is in parentheses, 49 to the 7 squared, x to the 9th. Remember, if there's no number here, and there was no number here, that is a 1/2 power. So now I have to think, if it's a power to a power, what do I do with my exponents? I multiply them. And this right here would be my final answer. And last, write it as a simplest exponential form. So first, when I look at 64, I should write that in prime factorization. So if I do, I believe it's 2 to the 6th is 64. So I'm rewriting, this is my 64, okay? That's x. Here's where my parenthesis is. Here's my 7. So that's everything underneath my radical. So I have to put that in parentheses. All of that is underneath my radical. It's a square root, so it's raised to the 1/2 power. There's different orders that you could do this. I'm going to do first is do this right here. I'm going to do this inside portion first. So power to a power and multiplying. So I still have this 1/2 on the outside. Power to a power, this becomes 2 to the 42nd, which is a lot. X to the 7th. And now I do my next power to a power and multiplying. So this is 2 to the 21st power and x to the 7/2 power. And that is my final answer. Thank you. Come again.